Okay, today I'm going to walk you through our ULS lesson, which we're doing for ELA. We're working on sound and light this month. So our code for today is MSFNY. Again, that's MSFNY. So I'm going to take my code MSFNY and plug it into Nearpod. Okay. You're going to start by putting your name in. You're not typing what I type. You should type your name, not mine. And when you're done, hit join session. Okay, today we're talking about light waves on the move. Okay, so here we already learned that light and sound travel in waves and they go through the air. But we don't really see them until we see the end result. But the waves are how they travel to our eyes. Very complicated. So light waves on the move. Okay, so here in the picture we have our light waves, and the waves can give us light like sunlight, light from a light on a stage, a candle, or even a lightning bug or firefly. The class will learn about light. Light waves are made of energy. Light can come from the sun. It can come from lamps, candles, and fireflies. Those are just some things that make light. I have a lamp behind me that I can turn on for light. The stage lights will give off light for the play. So, let's circle light on this page. So it comes up a lot, so let's circle light in the first sentence. Light waves, we can still circle light in light waves, but it won't have the exact same picture. Today we're reading about light, so we're going to circle it for a third time here. And then at the very bottom, if you can fit it, light for the play. Okay, when you're done circling light, 1, 2, 3, 4 times, hit submit. Okay, Mrs. Thomas turns on the stage lights. We talked already this month about if lights are bright or dim, and we learned that stage lights are very bright. It's a lot of light. So, I have a lamp here. If I turn it on, it won't be very bright. It's just one lamp. But it adds some light. That lamp does not have the ability to dim. Mrs. Thomas turns on the stage lights, and you can see it's bright because the boy is shielding his eyes. They are very bright. The students cover their eyes with their hands. The students block the light waves with their hands. Okay, so is this light bright or dim? It's very bright. So let's circle bright on the page. It only comes up one time. Bright. It's very bright. So once you're done circling bright, you hit submit. Light waves can move through some objects. Let's see. So I have the light behind me. If I hold up a piece of paper, you can still see some of the light coming through. Let's look. Here's my lamp. You can still see the light through the paper. But if I cover the lamp with my hands, you can't really see it. You can't see the light. Light waves can move through some objects. Light waves cannot move through other objects. The students' hands, when they cover their eyes, block the light waves. Light cannot move through them. So there's lots of different things you can look at to see if light goes through. So here I have a glass container for my pens. It does go through the glass container. You can see the light through it. Here I have my phone. It doesn't go through my phone. So, light waves can move through some objects and they cannot move through others. So, it says the student's hands block the light waves. Let's circle block. Block means to stop something. When you're done circling block, hit submit. The students stand behind the curtain. So here's the stage with the light shining. And here, there's someone behind the curtain. Mrs. Thomas turns on the stage lights. The students cannot see the light. The curtains block the light. What do the curtains do? They block the light. So let's circle block again. Now, who turned on the stage lights? We need to look back. There's different people on this. We have the students and Miss Thomas. So who turned on the stage lights? The students stand behind the curtain. Mrs. Thomas turns on the stage lights. So who turned on the stage lights? Mrs. Thomas. When you're done circling block, hit submit. The students stand behind a thin curtain. Mrs. Thomas turns on the stage lights. Kara can see Mrs. Thomas, but not clearly. Some light moves through the thin curtain. Some light gets blocked. So there's some things that block some of the sun, like sunglasses. The only sunglasses I have in this room are big, crazy sunglasses. They block some of the light so I can still see, but it makes the light not so bright. So, let's see, what should we circle on this page? Sometimes some light gets blocked. So let's circle the last sentence. If you can't fit circling the words and the pictures, you can just circle the words if you don't have room for both. So it sometimes gets cut off, especially on the iPad. So, some light gets blocked. Not all. It depends on what's in front. When you're done circling the last sentence, hit submit. Okay. Light moves through some things. You can see light through a water bottle or through my glass cup of pens. Light moves through glass and plastic. People can see through glass and plastic. Okay, so light moves through and we can see through. Let's circle people on this page. Who can see through glass and plastic? People can. So let's circle people. When you're done circling people, hit submit. Okay, light can move through some objects. So if we're looking at the light in the picture, this means it's blocked. This means you can see part way through because you can see some of the red square. And some things are totally clear, like a water bottle or glass, and you can see everything behind it. So let's go back to the reading. Light can move through some objects, but it cannot move through others. Tomorrow, the students will learn more about light. They will also get their parts for the play. Okay, so today we learned that you can see light through some things, but not through others. And we learned more about how it moves in waves. And when we learned about waves in class, we remember we were doing this for waves because waves go up and down. Okay, let's circle light again. It comes up twice on this page. Light, light. Because what did we learn about today? We learned about light. Okay, so circle light 1, 2 times, then hit submit. Okay. We're going to look at the yellow boxes today. And we'll circle 2 things. We learned about what type of energy. Not about sound today. What did we learn about? We learned about light today. So let's circle light. I circled light. Can you circle light? Okay. We learned about a really bright light that they sometimes use in a play. It's in this line right here. When you have a play, they use really bright lights. Do you know what they're called? They're called stage lights. So let's circle stage lights. Those are those bright lights that the kids were blocking with their eyes because it was so bright. So we circled light and stage light, then we're going to hit submit. what is this chapter about? So you need to think, okay, what did we learn about today? Did we learn about light waves? Did we learn about echoes or curtains? Let's see. I remember learning about light today. We did not learn about echoes. There was some things about curtains, but we talked about how curtains are ways to block light. So most of what we read about today, the main idea was light waves. So this chapter was all about light waves. I circled light waves. Can you circle light waves and then hit submit? Okay. Next question, number 2. What will give off light for the play? Are they going to use fire for light for the play? Stage lights or a candle? Fire is dangerous. We did not read about fire, and they're not going to use fire for the play. I remember reading about stage lights and how the students had to block the light because it was so bright. Now, we didn't read about candles today, and candles are dim. They're not bright. So we read about stage lights today, and that's how they're going to give off light for the play. When you circle stage lights, you hit submit. What did the students' hands do to the light waves? Okay, so the boy in the picture went like this. Did he wave at the light? Did he shake the light? Or did he block the light because it was so bright? He wasn't waving in the picture, but light does travel in waves, so that's a little confusing. Nobody was shaking anything in this story today, so it wasn't shake. There's only one left. The boy in the picture was trying to block the bright light. So I'm going to circle block, you circle block, and then hit submit. What did the students' hands do? They blocked the light. What does some light move through? So, they had a thin curtain, a loud microphone is another choice, or a small prop. The only one of them is one thing that we read about today. They had 2 curtains that the students were standing behind. One was thick and the other was thin. We did not read about loud microphones today or small props. So let's look at the question again. What does some light move through? Some light moved through the thin curtain. So there were 2 types of curtains. And some light moved through the thin curtain, but they couldn't see their teacher, Mrs. Thomas, clearly because it blocked some light. When you're done circling thin curtain, hit submit. And our last question for today. What is important to know about this chapter? Always the hardest question, number 5. So let's go through it and think together. What is important? Light can move through some objects. That's true. Like when we looked at my glass container of pens and the sunglasses, light goes through. We didn't read about the sun today, and this one says the sun does not give off light. We didn't read about the sun, and we know from our the other things we learned this year that the sun does give us light. Now, curtains give off light. If it's really dark, can I look at curtains to make it light? No, curtains don't give off light. They can block some of the light. So I have my curtain here. It's a thin curtain. You can still see me through it even though I'm not very clear, but it doesn't give off any light. Now, the only one left is light can move through some objects. So light was moving through my thin curtain right there. When you're done, hit submit. And that's the end of our lesson for today. Great job! I know that this is a dense topic and you did a great job. Thank you for doing it.